Today our topic is amenorrhea. So we had already discussed this topic. We will just revise this. Amenorrhea is means absence of menstruation. Amenorrhea is absence of menstruation. There are at least few factors involved on the onset and continuation of normal menstruation, like normal chromosomal pattern should be there, hypothalamo-pituitary ovarian axis should be normally coordinated, there should be anatomical presence and patency of outflow tract means vagina, cervix, again uterus also proper means there should not be absence of uterus like this condition. Responsive endometrium should be there and active support of the the glands that are producing hormones like adrenal gland and thyroid gland is important. So clinically we can see there are two types of amenorrhea, physiological amenorrhea and pathological amenorrhea. Physiological amenorrhea, that is primary and secondary. In primary amenorrhea, physiological primary amenorrhea generally before puberty, and secondary amenorrhea during pregnancy, during lactation and following menopause. Pathological amenorrhea, it is concealed or revealed or real. So concealed is also called as cryptomenorrhea. It might be congenital, it might be acquired. Again, real or true pathological amenorrhea, it is also primary or secondary. So basically we are concerned with the pathological condition. Cryptomenorrhea, so we will discuss this topic also, cryptomenorrhea. So whenever the menstrual blood fails to come out of the genital tract due to the obstruction in the passage, means some obstruction is present in the passage. Passage in the sense there might, or outflow obstruction basically. So there might be in cervix or in vagina somewhere obstruction is present, so that the menstrual blood will not come out of the genital tract. So it might be congenital, it might be acquired. In congenital condition, imperforate hymen, transverse vaginal septum, again atresia upper third of the vagina or cervix. These are the condition where congenitally cryptomenorrhea may be because of the congenital problem, cryptomenorrhea may be patient present with. Acquired condition, there may be stenosis of cervix, it may be because of the any injury or cervical cauterization, conization operation, or by the amputation of the cervix, stenosis might be present. Again, vaginal atresia following any vaginal delivery, any trauma to the vagina causing adhesions in the vagina and causing vaginal atresia. So these are the conditions causing cryptomenorrhea. So cryptomenorrhea is basically whenever the menstrual blood fails to come out of the genital tract because of the presence of obstruction in the passage, is called as cryptomenorrhea. So pathology, as far as pathology is concerned, there is accumulation of blood in the uterine cavity. Uterine means the blood is unable to come out of the genital tract because of the obstruction present in the cervix or vagina. So blood will collect inside the uterus. So it will cause hematometra. Whenever the blood will collect inside the uterine cavity, this condition is called as hematometra. So if at all the cases are neglected, then the blood will come to the femoral end, and the distension of the uterine cavity and the fallopian tubes will be there, and hematosalpinx might be the result in rare condition whenever the treatment is not taken and the cases are neglected. Clinically, we can see the features: patient with present with amenorrhea and pelvic pain. Patient will have lower abdominal pain and amenorrhea dated back, means patient will having in congenital condition, patient will present with primary amenorrhea, and acquired condition patient will present with sometimes secondary amenorrhea. So in secondary acquired condition, patient will date back to this amenorrhea to the incidence. Again, on examination, pelvic examination will reveal any obstruction or lesion to the vagina or to the cervix, and we can see, we can palpate, and we can feel the uterus enlarged symmetrically on the both side, it will be enlarged. So treatment part in this, dilatation of cervix is very important, and by doing removing the obstruction present inside the vagina or in the cervix, we can maintain by the outflow tract is cleared, and this condition is generally cleared, cryptomenorrhea. So this is about the cryptomenorrhea, and whenever it is also called as hematocolpos. So this condition is usually hematocolpos. This is also known as hematocolpos condition. So next one is primary amenorrhea. Now we will come to the amenorrhea proper. So pathological condition we can see primary and secondary amenorrhea. So primary amenorrhea, whenever a young girl who has not been menstruated up to the age of 16 years, this is called as primary amenorrhea. So this is also a delayed menarche, you can say. But basically, if at all a condition, a female, a young girl who doesn't have menstruated by the age of 16 years, in presence of secondary characters, and a female, a young girl who doesn't have menstruated up to the age of 14 years, and absence of secondary characters, sexual characters are important, and this is called as primary amenorrhea. So causative factors we will see. The causes, the first one is hypergonadotrophic primary amenorrhea. In this condition, hypergonadotrophic primary amenorrhea we are discussing. So here in this condition, FSH level is more than 50 milli international unit per ml. So in this condition we can see gonadal dysgenesis here in Turner syndrome. Again 46XX pure gonadal dysgenesis. Again 46XY gonadal dysgenesis, also testicular feminizing syndrome. We can see this condition. Gonadotropin resistant ovarian syndrome, also called as Savage syndrome. In this condition, whenever the amenorrhea, that is a hypergonadotrophic primary amenorrhea. Eugonadotrophic primary amenorrhea, there will be absence of Mullerian development. This is also testicular feminization syndrome, also come under this, that is androgen insensitivity syndrome. Again Mullerian agenesis will be there, so absence of uterus and vagina will be there. And again normal, whenever the absence of uterus is there, it is also called as Rokitansky-Kuster-Hauser syndrome. Whenever the Mullerian development is normal, then there will be polycystic ovarian disease, thyroid disorders, adrenal disorders, we can see which is common. Again cryptomenorrhea. In cryptomenorrhea, generally imperforated hymen we already discussed. Vaginal septum or cervical atresia, vaginal atresia might be present. Tubercular endometritis, in this condition, whenever the adhesion formation is there in the endometrium, it will cause amenorrhea. Again constitutional delay will be there because of the nutritional deficiencies. Whenever the patient is malnourished, then there will be constitutional delay for the menarche. Again anorexia nervosa, whenever there will be appetite will not be proper, patient will not is not taking the food properly, then this condition nutrition will be affected, and this will lead to amenorrhea. Again Kallman's disease, in this there will be low or absence gonadotropin releasing hormone, and either there will be autosomal dominant or X-linked autosomal recessive gene. Again in craniopharyngioma we can see there will be decreased GnRH, and there will be reduced FSH and LH levels will be there, and whenever the level of FSH and LH is reduced, then there will be amenorrhea because of this decreased FSH and LH level. Because of the developmental defect of genital tract, like imperforated hymen, transverse vaginal septum, atresia of upper third of the vagina or cervix, complete absence of vagina might be there, absence of uterus in MRK syndrome, like Mayer-Rokitansky-Kuster-Hauser syndrome. This is absence of uterus and vagina. Again dysfunction of thyroid and adrenal gland, like adrenogenital syndrome, cretinism, thyroid hypothyroidism is common. In hyperthyroidism sometimes there might be amenorrhea. Again metabolic disorders like juvenile diabetes, the patient may suffer from amenorrhea, primary amenorrhea. Again systemic illnesses like malnutrition, anemia, weight loss is there, tuberculosis is there, secondary tuberculosis generally in pelvic region, the patient may suffer from this primary amenorrhea. Whenever the endometrium is unresponsive to the hormones, means basically the receptors are not present to means insensitive, unresponsive means the receptors are not present in that much quantity, so that the endometrium will respond to the different impact of different hormones will not be there, like estrogen and progesterone. So this might be congenital condition, various chromosomal abnormalities we can see. Again, uterine synechia whenever present, generally tubercular, and after DNC there are uterine synechia. This condition is also called as Asherman syndrome. In this condition we can see there will be primary amenorrhea. So this is about the causation of primary amenorrhea. In next class we will see the diagnosis and treatment, and again in next class we will see the secondary amenorrhea. If at all you are having any query, mention in the comment box. I will try to solve it. Thank you very much.